It's been almost 2 weeks since we've had SCW action. We're 2 more days away from Climax Control, the 150th edition. I can't wait. I know you're excited. I'm excited. Everyone's excited, and you should be, because the Hotwire starts now.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Live on Revolution Radio, please welcome the hosts of the Hotwire, Tommy Knox.
Oh yeah, welcome to the Hot Wire. I hope you guys are happy that I'm back on the air, because me, I gotta tell you, I'm really happy to be here, guys. I mean, I'm so excited for more XCW action. I can't freaking wait. Whose idea was this week off anyway? I mean, come on, let's go. Let's get rid of it. Let's make an amendment to the SCW Constitution, and let's get back to wrestling. I hope you guys had a good week. I know that you missed me, but guess what? Tommy Knox missed you as well. All right. And just because I love you so much, we're going to jump right into the mailbag. First question, Becca from Cancun. After a week off, the bombshells and superstars should be well rested up. That's probably true. Thank you, Becca. The next episode of Climax Control looks to be amazing. However, I have been wondering about that golden briefcase that Micah won months ago. She had said that she had just found it a week or so ago. What do you think is in there, and do you think she even cares what's in there? I answered this question like months ago when I said that I don't know what's in there. It's probably money. And if it were money, then she is missing out. I don't know if she really gives a fuck, to be honest with you. She certainly acts like she doesn't give a fuck about anything recently, right? So if you ask me, no, she doesn't care. And guess what? Tommy Knox doesn't care either. DJ from Vegas, do you think Joshua Aquin is going to say he is sorry in the ring to Evie Bang, Bad Company's manager? We touched a little bit a few weeks ago about this Twitter drama, and I don't know if you guys had a chance to check out Zelda Clark's blog this week. She also touched on Twitter drama, funny enough, riding Tommy Knox's coattails, as everyone else does. But you know what? There's just so much drama on Twitter, and apparently this guy Aquin is a fucking prick. Aquin, whatever the fuck his name is. He's a total prick and was very rude to Evie Bang on Twitter, and she demanded an apology, and he said he would do it in the ring. You know what? I don't think he will. Just my best guess is that I don't think he will. And you know what? If he does, then great. Who cares? Okay, next question. Georgia from New Orleans, Louisiana. I am stoked that SCW is back in the States. I just wish they'd travel on my side of the States. But I'm super excited that they are in Vegas. If you could add a Vegas stipulation to a match, what stipulation would you choose or make up? And which match would you put it on? I'm not sure what a Vegas stipulation is. But to me, I like forms of 2 out of 3 falls, kind of 3 stages of hell kind of match. I hate that word, that term, 3 stages of hell. But I like 2 out of 3 falls matches with different stipulations. I think that would be cool. We should have some more of that. But, I'm not the booker. What do I know? So, Jeffrey from Arkansas. Twitter has blown up about Ben Jordan's party in Cuba. Did you get an invite? And if so, who did you see there? If not, did you get any details on who was there? Of course, Tommy Knox got an invite. Okay? everybody knows that I'm number one on everybody's fucking guest list. Okay, so let's just get that out there right now. I did not go because after being in Japan for several weeks, I decided to spend time with my family, my beautiful wife, Melly Knox, my gorgeous daughter, my wonderful son. So no, I did not go to Ben Jordan's party. I heard it was off the hook, right? Mr. Showtime, Dre Green was there, his lovely bride-to-be, Micah, Evie Bang, the Aquin. I mean, there was just a ton of people there, and I'm sure it was a great party. I have been to a few Cockney King parties, and they were off the hook. So I'm sure it was awesome. Diana from Seattle, Washington. Hi, love the show, and love the superstars and bombshells of SCW all except one. And that one being Micah. I went to high school with her. Interesting. Former classmate of the Dirty Girl. Look at that. With her, and she's exactly what she appears to be on Twitter, a cold-hearted bitch. So I have two questions for you. How could Drake want to marry her? And two, do you think she should change her ways? Drake is also a cold-hearted bitch. I don't know if everybody knows Drake. Like, listen, he puts on a great show, okay? And he does do it partially for the fans. A lot of it he does for his own ego, but he does kind of get off on being the center of attention. But he's a prick. I mean, listen, we don't need to rehash how I feel about Dre Green. We've done that plenty of times. And two, do you think she should change her ways? No. You know what? The only thing I think she should change, is to get her fucking act together and start caring about her job again. If she does that, she's a World Bombshell champion. I think we all know that. Okay, so that's how I feel. Tyler from Michigan. Fuck, marry, kill. You know, I get a lot of these fuck, marry, and kills. And I just want you guys to know, before you send these questions in, my wife listens to the fucking show. Alright? So it's a very uncomfortable conversation every time I go home after one of these things. Okay? Alright, so think twice before you send another one in. That being said, Tommy Knox don't shy away from a question. So, fuck, marry, kill, Micah, Melody, and Mercedes. I would fuck Micah, because if I think I was married to her, I would stab her in the face. I would marry Melody. I'm assuming Melody is Melody Grace, because she's a wonderful, sweet little girl, and can do no wrong. And I would kill Mercedes Vargas. Why would I kill Mercedes Vargas? Because you can't defend your fucking championship, and you don't deserve to live. Boom, I said it. You heard it here. Josh from Austin. I'm assuming Austin, Texas. What did you think of the debuting and destruction caused by Austin and Joshua Aquin? Look, I mean, this is going to be the summer of tag team wrestling in Sin City Wrestling. I've said it already several times. I think Joshua has been on a tear. I'm excited to see what he can do this weekend in the ring with his brother. This is going to be a fun summer if you like tag team wrestling, and Tommy Knox likes tag team wrestling. Larry from Lincoln, Nebraska. If you could book a card for Climax Control, what would it look like for you? How would you book it? That's a big question, and quite honestly, you know, we've been through this already. But to me, the Roulette Championships, okay, should be defended on every show, period. Men and women, every show, that should be the Fighters Championship, right? Like the old days when there was one specific title that was always defended. That should be the Roulette Belts. They should be online every time SCW is on the air. That's just my 2 cents. Owen from Oregon. I know you've met a lot of superstars and bombshells in the SCW world, but is there a certain bombshell and a certain superstar that you haven't met that you want to meet? If so, who? Not really. I mean, I would like to meet Marcus Reeves. I think he looks like a badass dude. Wouldn't mind sitting down with him for a little bit. But, you know, I try not to get too personal with these guys because I make a living at, you know, putting them up and tearing them down. You know, not a lot of them like me very much. But, you know, they're most of them, to be honest with you, are great human beings. The guys that I've met, the girls that I've met, are awesome. And they're phenomenal human beings and great talents. And yeah, if there's someone out there that I haven't met, I'd like to meet you. I'd like to buy you a beer. All right, how you doing? Sage from Maine. Sage from Maine. Who is the earnest bombshell and superstar? The earnest bombshell and superstar, like who's the most earnest? Ben Jordan, maybe, and Melody Grace. I don't know, maybe. And which superstar and bombshell is the nicest? And I don't mean when they're on TV. I mean backstage. Same answer. Ben Jordan and Melody Grace. Grace Olson from Fargo, Minnesota. What feuds would you like to see in the bombshell division? You know what? I'm really excited to see what some of the new girls can do. Amy Jane, Christina Bentley. I would love to see Amy Marshall, right? Get a little more involved, possibly back in the roulette division. I know it's kind of a step back for her because she is a former World Bombshell champion. She is a former, she's a Hall of Famer, and she is a Grand Slam champion. But some of the best roulette matches I've ever seen in the history of this company had Amy Marshall in them. So I would love to see her get back there, get a little violent. You know, I like me some violent Amy Marshall. Andy in Atlanta. My buddy Andy in Atlanta, redeeming himself from last week's weird question. With the return of Chris Shipman and Kane, do you see a match between these two coming soon? Possibly. I mean, for those of you guys that have been with the company for a couple years, you know these guys have had some pretty good battles in the past. So is that matchup a little stale? Probably not, because they've both been gone for a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing them go at it again. They have always put on some classic matches. All right. Hey, Tommy. Faithful fan here. Miss Zelda Clark. I just have one question for you this week. After quite some time, talk of the golden briefcase. Oh, this freaking golden briefcase. Talk of the golden briefcase belonging to the bombshell who shall not be named, Micah, was brought up again. That briefcase was all but forgotten when she was said to have gotten rid of it. So, my question is, what do you think is inside, and does she deserve it? P.S. Yes, I'm aware that turned into two questions. Look, whatever is in the briefcase, whatever it may be, she deserves. Why? Because she won the match. That's how life goes. As far as what's in it, again, I think it was probably money. And the reason why I say that is Christian Underwood made a comment that Micah would be really pissed. So look, if it was a guaranteed championship match, I don't think Micah would be pissed, because I don't think, at least at the time, she gave a shit. So I think it was money, and we'll leave it at that. Eric in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. It's ACW territory, Eric. I like that. Last week, you talked a little bit about how big of a Shipman fan you are. What is your favorite Shipman moment or match? Excuse me. Shipman House of Horrors, I think it was called. He did some crazy ass match about a year and a half ago. That was just insane. The dude's fun. He's out of his mind. He brings an element to the Seven Deadly Sins that is missing without him. And he's just fun to watch. Now, I like to see guys on television or internet streaming or wherever you watch SCW that pop on the screen and don't fade in the background. And no one will ever accuse Chris Shipman of fading into the background. Wes from Oklahoma City. Well, let's say this before we stop. Wes from Oklahoma City has the privilege and honor of being the final question of the evening. So thank you, Wes. Wes from Oklahoma City, if you could name the team of Joshua and Austin Aquin, what would it be? Brothers who are probably going to end up being pretty lazy. I don't know. Look, I'm not one to name tag teams. To me, Joshua and Austin Aquin sounds like a fine name to me. If they're going to end up with a name, it will come to them. All right? But let's see them in the ring first. Right? Before we anoint them anything, before we give them a name, christen them, right, with a nombre, let's find out exactly what they can do in the ring. that's all the questions we got for this week, guys. Thank you for whoever submitted. For all that you didn't submit, get off your ass next week and send a question in. Come on, let's go. I want to talk about the Twitter poll real quick, guys. We had a Twitter poll question of the week, as always. I asked, out of all the new debuts, who is going to have the biggest upside, basically. And 50%, right, of the voting field voted for Cale Smith, the brand new Aussie superstar. And I probably would have agreed. I think he's got a really good look about him. I don't know what he could do in the ring, and we'll certainly find that out in a couple of days. But he's got that look. He's got that attitude, that kind of persona, that charisma. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. And I think this is now 4 weeks in a row that the SCW universe has finally voted correctly and voted on what Tommy Knox voted for as well. So congratulations. I did get a little bit of flack because I didn't include Bad Company or Marcus Reeves in that question, but my whole question was geared at the new talent we saw for the first time at Into the Void 5. We had already seen Marcus Reeves at Bad Company prior. So out of all the signings the past, month and a half, I will say I think Marcus Reeves is doing the best right now. Does he have the biggest upside? I don't know. Maybe one of the dudes in Bad Company do. But we'll find out. As of right now, Cale Smith, congratulations. Last week, we didn't get to do any predictions because there was no show to predict. Okay, I said it at the beginning of the show. I'm going to say it in the middle. Get rid of this week off bullshit. I can't wait 2 weeks for wrestling anymore. It's like fucking having a heart attack. So please, whoever's listening, the powers that be, if you can hear me, get rid of the week off. Okay, this match is going to be, I don't want to take a minute to talk about this, the 150th edition of Climax Control. All right, we'll talk about the significance of that number a little bit later. But it is going to be a Humane Society of America sponsored show, right? So we're going to have some animals. I guess that's cool. I'm not much of an animal guy. I have a dog, right? I got a little beagle. Her name is Mona. She's cute. She's afraid of the wind, right? It's very hard to walk her at night because wind blows and she wants to go right inside. God forbid she sees a parked motorcycle. She won't go outside for a week. But it's cool. I'm hearing that all the SCW stars who have some pets will bring them. Pretty exciting stuff, I guess. And it's for a good cause. So listen, guys, make sure you open up your checkbooks. Okay? Make sure you text when the graphic comes up on the screen. And donate as much as you can because they are a great cause. They take care of a lot of animals that really don't have anywhere else to go. All right? So please, don't be cheap. All right, the first match of the evening is Marcus Reeves and Cale Smith. Marcus Reeves has been on a tear. Cale Smith, of course, 50% of the SCW universe, thinks he's got the biggest upside, and we just talked about it, of all the new stars. But I think he's going to lose his debut match. I think Marcus Reeves is going to win. Christina Bentley and Amy Jane, both making debuts. And this is going to be a fun one. I'm kind of flipping a coin here and saying Christina Bentley, but I really don't know shit about either one of them. So it could be Amy Jane as well. I just flipped a coin, and Christina Bentley got tails, and it came up as tails. So Christina Bentley's going to win. The next match is, to me, one of the more exciting matches of the card, and that's tag team wrestling. The Aquin brothers, Joshua and Austin, are taking on the Elders, John Doe, and of course Eisen Sane, his new partner. This is going to be fun to watch. I'm very excited to see what both these teams can do. I do think the Aquin brothers will come out on top, just because out of all the guys there, Aquin seems to have a little bit more experience, and maybe he can guide his team to a W. But again, I would not be surprised if the Elders win. Chris Shipman is taking on Ryan Keys. You guys know how big of a fan of Ryan Keys I am. I think he's a future star. But his star will not shine that bright on Sunday because Chris Shipman will pick up the win in his return match. He's going to be a little bit too much, a little different for Ryan Keys to handle. So again, I'm going to go with Chris Shipman. No slight on Keys there. The next match is the first of three World Championship matches, and it's a Superstar Roulette Championship. Casey Williams will get another title shot, this time at the Roulette Champion, James Tischini. This is a match apparently both men have wanted for some time. I do think Tischini will retain. Even though I've been high on Casey Williams, I don't like this matchup for him. Tischini is hot right now. I don't see him losing that belt right now. So I will pick Tischini, and I hope it's a cool stipulation. Go back to that 2 out of 3 falls, with different stips. Like, let's get something fun going on. Let's Climax Control 150, motherfucker. Let's blow the house out. Come on. Kane comes back to SCW after taking out Rage, the Internet Champion, at Into the Void 5. He's making his in-ring return against none other than the fearless one, Steve Ramone. Who's going to win this match? I'm going to go for Kane. These two have had some matches in the past. But Kane, again, is a former world champion. He's a Grand Slam champion. I see this guy picking up a win and firmly setting Rage in his sights for an Internet Championship match at Summer Extreme. You heard that here first, by the way. The final 2 matches of the evening are world title matches. All right? Crystal Miller will finally get her one-on-one shot against Sam Marlowe for the World Bombshell Championship. And let's chronicle this for a little bit. So, Crystal won the Blast for the Past tournament with Despair, okay, which culminated at Blaze of Glory, okay. She was supposed to get a one-on-one championship shot at Into the Void. Okay, she didn't because Sam Marlowe dropped the belt the week before, or 2 weeks before, to Mercedes Vargas. So all of a sudden, Sam invokes her rematch clause, and we have a triple threat match. Right? Interesting enough. Sam Marlowe pins Crystal, in the match. So Mercedes doesn't get pinned, but loses her title. And now all of a sudden, Crystal's getting a one-on-one match. I'm surprised and thankful that Mercedes didn't get thrusted into this match as well, because Crystal deserves a one-on-one shot. All right, and I think in a one-on-one scenario, she's going to win. I think she will beat Sam Marlowe. I'm surprised she couldn't get it done 2 weeks ago at Into the Void, but she will this week. We're going to have another 2-week title reign on our hands and a new champion in Crystal Miller. And you know what? Deservedly so. She's made a hard run at that belt, and she's a star, and she's going to have her crowning moment on Sunday. The final match of the evening is a big match. Okay, for those of you guys that don't understand the significance in this match, I want to walk you through it for a second. Okay, Drake Green hasn't wrestled on a Climax Control, I think, in 9 months or 10 months. All right, and even that, he did like 2 in the past 2 years. Right, he wrestles he's a super card guy. Okay, he's a big money draw, full of himself, the whole 9 yards. J2H, okay, is the World Heavyweight Champion. Okay, he has been, and you've heard me say this many times, the best World Heavyweight Champion in quite some time. But Drake Green was the World Heavyweight Champion, injured his shoulder, and had to vacate the title. So the reason why he's getting this match was twofold. One, he's owed a rematch, and he's finally healthy enough to get it. Okay. Number 2, this is Climax Control 150, one of the biggest shows ever. And why wouldn't you want one of your biggest stars ever headlining the show? What I think is lost in this, there's been so much talk about Drake Green headlining the show, is he's not the champion, right? J2H is the champion, and he showed time and time again that he is and should be the World Heavyweight Champion. I think J2H will win this match, okay? Partially because Drake Green is probably not 100%, okay? But he's also, he's a little older now, and J2H is on fire. He's coming off the best title defense of an impressive reign. I think that reign will continue for the foreseeable future, at least until Summer Extreme. Okay, so Dre Green, your final title shot in this company. As we know, your contract is ending at Summer Extreme on July 31st, and there's no way in hell Mark Ward will re-up that contract. So this will probably be your final World Heavyweight Championship match. You will lose, but don't worry, buddy. You're still the only three-time heavyweight champion ever, and you're probably a future Hall of Famer. So we thank you for that. Those are my predictions, guys. I hope you wrote them down because they're probably all right. Because I'm Tommy Knox, the celebrated analyst and journalist that I am. Okay. This is the time of the show I like to kind of go around the SCW universe with some news and some rumors. Let's hit some of the rumors first. Crystal Miller and Jonathan Miller have been having major issues, apparently, especially after having an affair. Someone was having an affair. The two haven't been talking since. Okay. And on top of that, Kate Steele apparently isn't very happy in 3M. So there's a lot of shit going on in Crystal's head going on into this title match. And again, I think she's going to put it all behind her. Right? And she's going to win, and it's going to be a triumphant moment for her. And I'm happy for her. Word coming from, and this is from my source, right? Because I'm a journalist and a celebrated analyst. This is from my source at the Las Vegas Police Department. Our very own internet champion, our superstar internet champion Rage, has a stalker, right? He has filed for a protection order, okay? And the name of who he filed against has not been released, so I don't have that. But there's some shady shit going on. I've heard that Rage has doubled his security. There's been some heightened security in SCW events, and there will be this Sunday. Celeste North has been seen around Las Vegas once again. Could a return be coming? Who knows? She may have just been in town visiting a friend, but she was spotted on more than one occasion in the past 2 weeks. I hope she does come back, but you never know. Again, it could just be she's in town visiting friends. For all the chatter and the internet rumors, Drake Green and Micah are serious. All right, they are actually getting married, and there was a venue reportedly booked in Southern California. Southern California. Okay, for a wedding, sometime in mid to late July. So take that with a grain of salt. That's a pretty quick turnaround for a wedding, but obviously these guys are super impulsive, so you never know. As I reported on last week, and I will confirm this week, there has been a huge SCW signing. They finalized it just yesterday on Thursday afternoon. The company is very tight-lipped about who it was and in what capacity they will be used, but they will be at Climax Control this Sunday in Las Vegas. So pretty exciting stuff. I can't wait to find out who it is. I've been beating the horn, hitting the pavement, working my sources, but no one is saying anything. I even tried to buy the SCW social media guy a hot dog and a milkshake, and he wouldn't budge. The response was very good to the faithful fangirl, Zelda Clark's new blog, and although not nearly as amazing as me, Tommy Knox, dust my shoulder off, all of us at the Hotwire want to wish her best of luck and congratulations. She's a wonderful addition to SCW Studios, and hopefully in the future we can work something together because she's a bright star in the world of journalists. Certainly not the caliber of a celebrated analyst that I am, but she's got a long way to go, and she'll get there one day. Going back to the question earlier, Big Ben's Cuba Bash 2016 was a huge success apparently, and even got a small write-up in a local Havana newspaper. Thought that was pretty cool. Alright guys, that's all I got, news and rumors. Normally at this point of the show we would be doing a stock up and a stock down. Because there was no show last week, I don't feel right doing stock up or stock down. So I'm going to end the show with this final note. Alright, this is the 150th Climax Control this Sunday. Okay, that's a lot of shows. Okay, we're approaching very fastly the 6th anniversary. All right, of Cincinnati Wrestling, and at a time In our world these days, when these wrestling promotions seem to come up and go down and disappear very quickly, SCW has turned it into a mainstay and has become one of the major promotions in the world. That's a huge accomplishment. All right. And the 150th edition of Climax Control is really special to me because it shows how hard everyone involved works and the dedication that they have. So for everyone in the SCW universe, superstars and fans alike, I thank you and I salute you. All right? Because without you guys, there would be no SCW. There would not be a 150th edition of Climax Control. So with that, I bid you adieu. This is the end of the Hotwire. I hope you all enjoyed the show. I'm sure you did because I'm amazing and the show was amazing. But if you didn't, if you're the small minority out there, the small portion of the world that did not enjoy the Hotwire with Tommy Knox, then please, as always, go fuck yourself.